Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Dizzo. I want to give you my top 10 wrestling stables of all time. Right off the bat, number 10, the Dungeon of Doom. Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster. To me, is like one of the original cerebral assassins, besides Jake the Snake Roberts and Triple H. But some notable members was Vader, Ming, Barbarian, the Zodiac, Kamala, the Giant. They had some good feuds with Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, Sting, and the Four Horsemen. Number 9, Nation of Domination. Of course, Farouk and The Rock were like the co-leaders of the group. Mark Henry, Ahmed Johnson, D'Lo Brown, Crush, Savio Vega were also notable members as well. I believe they were the first to bring race into wrestling. We all remember Steve Austin versus Farouk. Steve Austin comes into the ring and says, "This is not a white thing, this is not a black thing, this is a me kicking your ass thing." And that was just a great moment in wrestling history. Number 8, Camp Cornette. James E. Cornette is a legendary manager, and it definitely deserves to be on this list. Of course, Vic Van Vader, the British Bulldog, Owen Hart were some notable members of that stable. Number 7, the Hart Foundation. Of course, this is where we got to see Bret Hart really make a name for himself in wrestling. British Bulldog, the Anvil, Owen Hart were also notable members as well. The Dungeon. All these guys got all their wrestling training in the Dungeon. The legendary Dungeon in the Hart family basement. Number 6, the Corporate Ministry. Now, this is a very interesting stable. You had Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and The Undertaker as the notable leaders. But they also had the Acolytes, Big Boss Man, Main Street Posse, Midian, just to name a few. They had some great feuds with Steve Austin and DX and Stephanie McMahon. We all can never forget Stephanie McMahon being crucified up on the ring entrance. And of course Steve Austin was as well. Just some great memories with that stable. Number 5, the Four Horsemen. Of course, the original members was Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Ric Flair. They were the original stable. They paved the way for everybody. Other notable members was Lex Luger, Barry Windham, Sting, Sid Vicious, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Steve Mongo McMichael. Like I said, they were the originals, and they are awesome. They will forever be legends. Number 4, Degeneration X. Of course, the original members were Chyna, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. Later on, X-Pac and New Age Outlaws were brought into the mix. But they were definitely known for their comedy skits that they did. When they came out and made fun of the Nation of Domination, everybody was dressed up as a member. You had Ms. Zark Henry and The Croc. That was just funny stuff. And when they invaded WCW, that was funny as well. So DX, number 4. Number 3, NWO. Hall, Nash, and Hogan, the original 3. This is where we got to see Hogan turn heel for the first time. I'll never forget 1996, Bash at the Beach. And he dropped a leg on the Macho Man. We all thought he was coming out to save WCW, but he turned his back on WCW and the fans. And you never saw a ring get filled up quickly with trash before in your life until this time. But that's NWO. And I'm talking about the NWO that came out in 96, 97. Because, after a while, they just kept getting way too many members. I think they were up to like 30 to 40 members by the time it was all said and done. But anyways, that's number 3, the NWO. Number 2, the Heenan family. Bobby the Brain Heenan, one of the greatest managers of all time. He managed a crap load of wrestlers. From the AWA to NWA and the WWF. I'm going to shout out a few of them real quick. Nick Bockwinkel, Ray Stevens, Angelo Poffo, Bobby Duncan Sr., Blackjacks, Big Cat Ernie Ladd, The Missing Link, Big John Studd, King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant, Paul Orndorff, Harley Race, Rick Rude, Hercules, the Barbarian, Haku, Mr. Perfect, the Red Rooster, the Brooklyn Brawler, and the Brainbusters. I mean, he did anything and everything to get his guy to win, and you know it worked out some of the times. But Bobby the Brain Heenan, legendary manager, and later on went to WCW and became a commentator, and did a great job as well. Number 1, the Dangerous Alliance. Paul E. Dangerously, or Paul Heyman, whatever you want to call him. He had a great little stable back in the early 90s with WCW. Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Stunning Steve Austin, Larry Zbyszko, and Medusa. One of the best feuds was definitely Rick Rude and Sting. Rick Rude was the U.S. champion for I don't know how long. He was definitely a heel that everybody loved to hate, and he played that role to a T. And Sting did everything he could to win the U.S. belt. And we all remember Paulie Dangerously had the Zach Morris cell phone. I mean, that big old brick of a phone. He used that thing a lot to help his guys win. And that's my number 1 pick, the Dangerous Alliance. I'm sure you guys, not all of you guys will agree with my choices, but that's what they are. And let me know what you guys think. You guys have a good night.